Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing shoulders in just an hour. Let's get into it. All right guys, we're starting off with my favorite 45-degree incline Smith machine press. The reason why I like this is because this is my second upper day. So my second upper day has some chest in it as well too. So if you want to build your chest and it's a focus point for you, you can use a 45-degree press on your quote unquote shoulder day as part of your shoulder exercise. So you can see how, I try to get my client Carolyn to keep that same tempo, same tension, right? You can see the difference between how I keep my chest high the entire time. Sometimes her chest deflates as she pushes up. I'm trying to keep her chest up the entire time because that's going to get a lot more stretch on your delts and your chest on the way down, right? So that's what we want to achieve. She's doing it as much as she can. You can see the difference in the comparison of both. Now, doing lateral raise, you can see just the comparison of both of us, right? You can see the arms. My arms are always level, right? If you look at from the side to side, my arms are level with each other. She is very close because she has a good coach, wink. But as well as you can see that we're trying to touch the opposite sides of the room. We want to keep all the tension on those delts. And we're going to do that by simply almost like you're reaching your shoulders to the opposite side of the room. Right here, there's tension that's consistently on my delts, and that's by me continuing to push away to the walls as far as I can. And then I have a little bit of a little momentum swing here, you can see, but I'm just using a little bit of drive from my hips to help get that weight up, but then I'm controlling it down. You can see kind of letting it float. As soon as you hit the top, you see it kind of float a little bit. It's like almost suspended in air. That's what I'm doing to create tension on my delts consistently over and over again, right? Now I'm trying to get her to not do as much as that, but she's doing a pretty good job. She's at the end of this. I've been putting her through the ringer, and having someone there like myself to be able to keep my client's tension, high and the efforts high, makes it that much harder. Now again, here's another great comparison of the exercise. If you look at it, my elbows are staying stacked as much as they can, where hers are slightly going back a bit, and she's still working on that, but she's aware of it. What we want to see here too is, see how we get down to the bottom, we let it stretch and down, right? I'm telling her stretch and down. On the way down, that's where we're getting that nice load onto that lengthening contraction. And then we're driving up to the top, but I'm still squeezing at the top as well too. I think a lot of times when we're going through coaching and we're always emphasizing the stretch at the bottom, that we sometimes forget about that contraction at the top. Even though it's not as, I would say, critical in terms of muscle gain or hypertrophy, we still want to contract at the top. I find that it's not necessarily the issue of people feeling their, say chest or shoulder, whatever, in the stretch. It's hard for them to feel it. I say it's harder, for them to feel it in the stretch than it is in the contraction. So right now, here's a stretch, and the top, that is the shortening. So the lengthening contraction, the shortened contraction. So I call this the stretch, and then the top is the squeeze. People want to feel their muscles more so, they'll feel it better when they're in that short contraction, right? When you're actually going through a flex, you're flexing, that's when you're actually feeling the muscle. The stretch, you can feel a stretch, but you're not gonna feel the muscle as much when it's contracted as you would, trying to do it in that stretch position. Yes, you can feel a stretch across your chest and your shoulders, but at the top, when you're squeezing, that's when you can really actually feel the muscle. It's good to continue to ride that negative, but I really want you to focus on making sure that you can get the full range of squeeze at the top. Hey, what's up guys? A lot of you guys watch the video but don't subscribe, so do your boy a favor, subscribe to the channel. Also hit that post notification button as well too, so next time I put a video, you'll be the first ones to get it. Now these are starting to be one of my favorite ways to do rear delts. The reason why I have us going down like so, like instead of going out directly in that lateral adduction, right, we're angling down a bit. Reason why is, right now when we're in that stretch, you can see the stretch in my back, this massive stretch, my delts are being stretched at the top, peak stretch at the top is great, but the contraction, we're gonna feel it the strongest and the most. So if you're gonna say the lengthened contractions, we're gonna feel the most amount or get the most amount of muscle hypertrophy. Where you're gonna get the most amount of the shortened contraction is this angle, right? The angle where we're more so, I would say, in that parallel to the floor angle, you're not gonna get the short contraction anywhere near as much as you would going the way we are in terms of that angle. So that's why I've switched to this angle at the bottom more so than I have going basically lateral across, or I would say parallel to the floor, right? You can see the delt at the bottom. You're seeing a massive contraction at the bottom and then riding it all at the top, right? So the cue here is to push away again, reach away from your body. You want to make sure you're not retracting your scaps immediately, right? You're doing your best to start that pull and your scaps still being in that protraction position. Just something a little different we did today with the prime rotate handles. Don't worry about those handles. If you don't have it, you can easily just do a regular straight bar, easy bar. What I like doing this is at the bottom of this lift, we get this kind of like push down at the bottom, and the handles kind of make it easier to do that. So it's almost like we're doing a nice stretch pull at the top, and then at the bottom we're pressing. Right, you can see, and it's like I'm pumping into that press, right? I'm not jamming it down. I'm getting a nice stretch and then squeeze at the bottom. Now again, you can see how my elbows are coming up a little bit. They are going up to get more stretch, but you can see how my traps aren't elevating. My shoulders aren't elevating, right? You can see how my traps stay down the entire time. This is gonna create more tension on my triceps on the way down and on the way up. All right, so you can see just Carolyn trying this again. She's doing a good job keeping, her shoulders down a bit. What I want her to do more so is like keep it down even more. You can see how there's a little bit of anterior rotation and her traps pop up slightly. I just want to show you guys, this is kind of like little tiny bit of mistakes that happens that we're still trying to figure out, not necessarily figure out, but nail down, her form, right? It's one thing at a time, and that's why you have to continue to get better at this in terms of repping and being aware. Use the mirror to give yourself an understanding of how it feels and what it looks like. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed that video. If you guys did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. I'm gonna come with that talk. It is transparent, vulnerable truth. And for coaching, johnrashid.com. If you wanna know more about my coaching, guys, book yourself a 1-hour video consult with myself. We'll go over training, nutrition, supplementation, and mental health. Anyway guys, until next time, you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.